Today on the Rockbridge Report. A Washington and Lee alum became the new governor of Kentucky following Tuesday's election. We'll tell you who he is and what his plans are.
It's been a big week for local politicians. We'll catch you up on all of Tuesday's election results and check in with some of the night's winners.
Wish you could fulfill your childhood dream of becoming an astronaut? You may still have a chance. Find out why NASA is looking for a new class of astronauts.
And later, young athletes in the Rockbridge area may soon have more fields to play on. We'll give you the inside scoop on this proposed new project.
Live from the campus of Washington and Lee University with news for Rockbridge County, this is the Rockbridge Report.
Welcome to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Ford Carson.
And I'm Mariella Fair. Matt Bevin, W&L class of 1989, became the next governor of Kentucky on Tuesday night. Bevin, a self-described family man, has 9 children, and his campaign has focused on his deep commitment to his religious faith.
This is a great night for the Republican Party in the state of Kentucky. I'm also grateful for the fact that, even more importantly, this is a great night for conservatives in the state of Kentucky.
There were no surprises in the 24th District House race last night, with incumbent Republican Ben Cline taking nearly 70% of the vote over Democratic challenger Ellen Arthur. Anna Akins was on the scene.
On Tuesday night, Republican supporters gathered at Salerno's to celebrate Ben Cline's victory over challenger Ellen Arthur for the 24th District Virginia House seat. This will be Cline's 7th consecutive term as House delegate. Cline defeated Arthur handily, receiving 71% of the vote. The only place Cline lost was in Lexington, where Arthur received 58% of the vote. Roger Jarrell, chairman of the Rockbridge Area Republican Committee, said that Republican voter turnout was just over 50% at the key precincts.
Normally turnout is really low. Today we actually exceeded expectations. We had a very enthused Republican base that turned out in droves.
Infrastructure, education, and the economy are at the top of Cline's agenda in Richmond.
I'm continuing to try and make college more affordable for all Virginians, to continue to keep taxes low, to continue to make it possible for jobs to be created in our part of Virginia, focus on transportation, making 81 safer. So there are a lot of things that I want to continue to work on and build on the accomplishments that we've achieved thus far.
Cline said it would be imperative to reach across party lines to get things accomplished.
We are going to govern in a bipartisan manner. We are going to seek areas where we can reach across the aisle to make sure that all Virginia is represented.
Arthur conceded the race at around 9:15 p.m. on Tuesday. Although Arthur lost, she still remains hopeful for the future of the Democratic Party in Virginia.
All of the things I was talking about during the campaign, I still believe can be accomplished and still can be done.
It's no doubt that Cline's supporters were thrilled by the election results.
Ben Cline has been my hero for years, and I couldn't be more thrilled, and I hope he stays in office as long as I'll allow it.
For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Anna Akins.
Chris Billius was elected Tuesday as Rockbridge County and the City of Lexington's next Commonwealth's attorney. He beat Josh Elrod, taking 56% of the vote. He will take office January 1, 2016, after Bucky Joyce retires. Rachel Stone looks at his plans even before he takes office.
Wow. What can I tell you? Wow.
This week, Chris Billius begins his role as Commonwealth's attorney-elect. In a speech Tuesday night at the Republican election headquarters, he said he is ready to take on the role and will do his best to serve this community.
I don't think I was that well known, obviously, before this election. I think, obviously, I'm pretty well known now. I think the people have spoken. They're putting their trust in what I believe in, my values. I'm the prosecutor for all of us, whether they voted for me or didn't vote for me. I'm the prosecutor for this jurisdiction, so I look forward to doing my job very effectively, doing what's right, and being guided by what the community has spoken.
Salerno's was busy Tuesday night as the headquarters for the Republicans. Many residents are excited for Billius to take office.
He's going to fill right in where Bucky Joyce is retiring. Chris has been working for him. He knows the routine, he knows the budget, he knows what to do, and taxpayer money doesn't have to train him.
Billius said he hopes to speak with local law enforcement in the next couple of weeks. He also said he hopes to expand the office's use of the multi-jurisdictional grand jury, which would help with some drug cases.
I'll certainly be looking at ways of developing further resources in the community for drug addiction problems and reorienting people when they come out of prison back into society, because that's one of the real big problems we have.
Villius said the biggest change is trying to figure out how he wants to run things. But first, he must hire his own replacement as chief deputy. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Rachel Stone.
Ohioans did not pass Issue 3 on Tuesday, which proved to be a big issue for the state's supporters of marijuana. CNN's Reed Binion has more.
This was, folks, the first step to legalization. We're not going away.
Ian James of the group Responsible Ohio doesn't have to go away, but his organization's plan to legalize marijuana in the state does have to go back to the drawing board. This after Ohio voters rejected Tuesday a measure called Issue 3, the first ballot measure in U.S. history aimed at simultaneously legalizing both medical and recreational marijuana. It would have allowed commercial production, retail sale, and personal ownership of marijuana plants in small amounts. But Issue 3 had issues of its own, 10 of them to be precise. 10 being the number of predetermined farms that would have gotten exclusive commercial growing rights for a period of 4 years. Advocacy groups like the one headed up by Kurt Steiner slammed the plan as an attempt by its backers to profit by effectively writing themselves into the law.
Issue 3 was designed and built primarily to garner massive and exclusive profits for a small group of self-selected wealthy investors.
Those investors included celebrities like Nick Lachey, former lead singer for the band 98 Degrees.
I'm Nick Lachey. Ohio is my home.
And while Lachey and his co-investors will have to wait to cash in on pot profits in Ohio, the same issue will be on ballots in several states next year. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
The U.S. and U.K. say signs point to the possibility a bomb knocked a Russian airliner out of the sky, killing everyone on board. But Egyptian officials say not so fast. They say it has found no evidence to support the idea that a bomb caused the Russian airliner to go down in the Sinai. As questions continue to linger, CNN's Nick Robertson takes a look at the most sophisticated terrorist bombers' tactics.
In 2009, I asked explosives expert Sidney Alford to show me what Al-Qaeda's top bomb maker was capable of.
This is what 6 grams of PETN does to something that's twice as thick as an aircraft fuselage.
He'd mastered the powerful white powder explosive, PETN. The Al-Qaeda bomb maker made this, the underpants bomb, targeting a US passenger jet, Christmas 2009.
Here in Russia, the rising question is likely to become who made the bomb that brought down Metrojet 9268? Was it ISIS, an ISIS affiliate, another radical Islamist group, or Al-Qaeda? What we do know is that after the underpants bomb, Al-Qaeda's bombs became even more sophisticated.
2010, printer bombs hidden in cargo on 2 planes. Fortunately, they were intercepted.
Here's at the clever end of the scale. There's no doubt about this. This is an ingenious way of doing it.
Alford deconstructed, remade the bombs, explained Al-Qaeda's deadly cunning.
3, 2, 1.
In 2014, a few years later, I came to see Alford again.
So that is a t-shirt dipped in explosives that is just blown and dried, blown up, and that would bring down a plane.
Rockbridge County's Natural Bridge is one of the oldest tourist sites in America. Thomas Jefferson purchased Natural Bridge and the surrounding area in 1774. It has also been considered a sacred site for the Native American Monacan tribe. Visitors can view its outdoor Monacan Indian exhibit, go hiking, visit its underground caverns, or stay in its newly renovated historic hotel. Natural Bridge is a National Historic Landmark, a Virginia Historic Landmark, and is in the process of becoming a state park.
Coming up next, we'll update you on the election results of several contested races in the area. And later, it's been 26 years Since Aaron last saw his best friend, now an adult, Larson believed police may have finally found the suspect who kidnapped Jacob Wetterling so many years ago. Stay tuned for the full story.
If you don't fix them, sparks from dragging tow chains could cause a wildfire, and that could be scary. Smokey. Only you can prevent wildfires.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
He's on his way. He doesn't even know that we're here. Is he okay? Please tell me he's okay.
Laura.
Okay, try to call him again.
There's no signal.
Try.
Nothing's working.
Well, just
Everything's
try.
down.
This is so bad. He's out there by himself.
Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov.
Back in 2011, the Virginia Department of Housing and Community Development gave Lexington a $700,000 community block grant to develop 20 housing lots on Thompson's Knoll. But only 5 houses have gone up, and the city will not meet the project deadline of December 31st this year. At tonight's council meeting, city officials will be discussing in closed session how to negotiate paying off the state grant so that the city can get out of the project and auction it to a private developer as soon as possible. Partners in the development blame the downturn on the economy and problems potential buyers had getting credit.
Out of one of 7 total candidates running for 4 spots, only one has not previously been involved directly with Buena Vista's government. City Council member Larry Tolley won an uncontested race for mayor, while incumbents Steve Baldridge and Lisa Clark retained their seats on the City Council. William Bill Fitzgerald won the other open seat. As a result of Tolley's election as mayor, an open seat will appear on the council. The council will discuss how to fill the seat in a meeting tonight at 6.
Incumbent State Senator John Edwards, a Democrat, retained his seat on the 21st State Senate District. Edwards was challenged by Republican Nancy Dye and Independent Don Caldwell. The race was closely watched because the outcome could have affected the balance of power in the Republican-controlled state Senate, but the power did not shift. The balance still stands 21 Republicans to 19 Democrats. Edward led the 51% of the vote to Dye's 43%. Caldwell, a prosecutor and former Democratic Party officer, had just 6% of the vote. Incumbent Cree Deeds, also a Democrat, ran unopposed for his seat in the 25th Senate District.
In the race for Rockbridge County Sheriff on Tuesday, incumbent Chris Blaylock handily defeated his challenger Brian Rousey. Blaylock has held the position for the past 3 years and ended up with over 90% of the votes. His challenger wound up with less than 9%. The victory was no surprise. Rousey, a local landscaper, has no experience in law enforcement and was convicted of 3 misdemeanor charges in 2007. The 2 candidates differ on many issues. Rousey calls himself an example of unequal treatment in the criminal justice system, while Blaylock thinks the system is fair as it is. In Tuesday's election, Richard Clemmer and James Gilliam won the 2 Rockbridge County seats on the Natural Rockbridge Soil and Water Conservation District. Catherine Kipp Brooks and Morris Trimmer, who ran unopposed, won seats on Lexington's district board. The Rockbridge polls were close. Clemmer ended up with 28%, while Gilliam came out with 32%. The other two candidates each won about 25% of the votes. The district is the fourth largest in the state and aims to protect the community's natural resources at a local level.
It may be the first week of November, but it's beautiful out there today.
Andrew Agapina joins us now. How long can we expect to soak up the sun for, Andrew?
As long as you possibly can, Marielle. It's a gorgeous day outside, like you guys said. And we're going to have this nice weather for about the next 2 days. And then some rain's going to be coming in on Saturday. So right after this report, I expect to see both of you outside soaking it up. If we take a look over at our live shot, you can see these beautiful sunny skies we have here. And let's take a look at our almanac for today so we can take a look at those highs and lows. Today we have a high of 81 and a low of 56. And the barometer is at 30.20 inches with a humidity of 48% and wind coming in from the south at 7 miles an hour. Now if we look over at our regional conditions, we can see that generally in this area we have weather in the 70s and 80s, beautiful skies all around, and you can just see we have some lovely weather for today, dipping down only into 68, and then we have 81 degrees in Lexington, Buena Vista, 78 in Stanton, sunny skies for today. Now if we look ahead to our radar satellite composite, you can see generally clear skies like I was just talking about, and then we're going to have some rain coming in later on this week, some cloud cover hanging over above. So watch out for that coming in on Saturday, and then good chance of rain for the rest of the week. As you can see on our 5-day report, tomorrow rather, we're going to have a high of 74 and a low of 58. That high is going to dip down to 61, and then unfortunately keep heading in that direction. We're going to be in the 50s as we look Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And like I said, we're expecting some rain on Saturday, and then a good chance of rain again on Monday and Tuesday. And that's the weather. Back to you, Ford and Marielle.
Thanks, Andrew. Looks great. Calling all wannabe astronauts, NASA is looking for a few good men and women. Just take a look at this ad.
I'm Charlie Bolden. NASA's on a journey to Mars, and we're recruiting the next generation of space pioneers. Think you've got what it takes? We want you to apply for NASA's astronaut program.
NASA went into more detail on Instagram and Twitter with the hashtag #BeAnAstronaut. The agency says it selects qualified astronaut candidates from what it calls a diverse pool of U.S. citizens with a wide variety of backgrounds. Applications will be accepted from December 14th through mid-February. NASA is expected to announce its newest astronaut candidates sometime in 2017. If you have kids who play sports, they may have a reason to rejoice. Stay tuned for a report on the proposed plan to build new athletic fields in the county.
And later, a new program called the Junior Police Academy is coming to local schools. We'll tell you what local officers are doing to increase their outreach to young students. We'll be right back.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your GED.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future and sign up for free classes now at yourged.org.
If you store your guns properly,
I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
And I won't have to tell my kids. This isn't a drill.
Please.
please do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always, lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
No more pencils, no more books,
no more teachers, dirty looks.
School's out for summer.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%.
To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org because great things happen when we live united.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
Young athletes in the area might have new practice fields next year. These fields would be on the edge of the Virginia Horse Center's property and would allow youth sports teams to share a centrally located practice location. Polly Noskova has more.
The Rockbridge County Board of Supervisors approved a motion to enter a land usage agreement with the Virginia Horse Center last week. This land agreement, if approved by the Horse Center at its November 10th meeting, would allow for the development of some Horse Center land to be used as sports fields. This news comes at a time when the county's practice field options are particularly limited with the increase of local sports teams.
Different organizations use the field out at Highland Bell, but now the Bark utility has both the building and the field there. Right now, with the construction of the Waddell Elementary School, a practice field that would have been available at Lilburn Downing had been converted to space where there's the temporary modular classrooms.
County Administrator Spencer Suter is excited about the community benefits these new fields could bring.
It's really nice to see when so many different what could be competing interests get together and can visualize a solution that would work for everyone.
Discussions about the new fields have been in the works for quite some time. The previous plans presented safety concerns such as parking and access off Route 39, a road with a 55 miles per hour speed limit. The most recent plans put the fields on part of the Horse Center called Oak Hill Farm, with parking right off Alphen Lane. Suter says that the private soccer and lacrosse groups have expressed an interest in making sure that Rockbridge County high school teams can use the practice fields as well.
So if the high school needs a place to practice, we would make that available for them to practice. Also, in addition to those groups, RARO would have access to it. It would just be a matter of making sure that schedules meld.
If these plans work out, no parties are expected to make money from the project. The only cost would be for upkeep, maintenance, and improvement of the property. The private athletic groups using these fields have expressed interest in helping to fund these costs. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Paulina Noskova.
He was there when his best friend Jacob Wetterling was kidnapped in Minnesota 26 years ago. Now, Aaron Larson says his gut tells him the latest person of interest in the case could very well be the masked man who told him to run moments before Wetterling vanished. Liz Collin reports.
He grabbed Jacob and then he told me to run as fast as I could into the woods or else he'd shoot.
His small voice recited the story to reporters.
It shapes who you are as a person.
26 years later, he's doing it again. Only this time, Aaron Larson says it seems different.
Wednesday night, it was a tough night and a tough conversation.
Patty and Jerry Wetterling called Aaron to tell him Danny Heinrich's arrest would be announced the next day.
My heart was racing 1,000 beats a minute.
And when Aaron saw Heinrich's photos, he felt an immediate reaction.
I'll say that it's a feeling that I hadn't had from looking at any other pictures of people.
Aaron Larson is 37 now, the same age Jacob Wetterling would be.
My favorite color is blue. My best friend is Aaron Larson.
Best friends until the night Jacob disappeared. The rest of it we know well. The boys rode their bikes home after renting a movie. A masked man with a gun ordered them into a ditch. But a detail not discussed, Aaron was sexually assaulted by that man, grabbed in the groin area before being told to leave, similar to what happened in the string of attacks in Paynesville in the 2 years prior.
You were always known as the friend that was with Jacob Wetterling.
Oh yeah, I would say definitely.
Aaron says not a day goes by he doesn't think about Jacob.
You live with that guilt of, I'm here and how come Jacob's not here?
He's hopeful this latest break will lead to some kind of closure.
You never give up. You want to find out where he is.
Heinrich has not been charged in the abduction of Jacob Wetterling and denies any wrongdoing. He is a suspect in a 1989 abduction and assault in Cold Springs, Minnesota. Police say DNA linked him to that crime scene. Next, the Washington and Lee football team seems unstoppable this season. We'll give you the info about Saturday's game next and an update VMI and SUV sports as well.
And it's hard to believe you would have missed this, but the Kansas City Royals are world champions. Stay tuned for the footage of the city's celebration parade.
Jimmy can't sing, and Tommy can't dance, so we're gonna put some ants in their pants. Aww.
Kids will spend 22 minutes watching us, the super duper party troopers, sing about ants in their pants.
Isn't that funny? Ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
And roll, we say, we want you to be okay. And roll, we say, take care of people for goodness sake.
There's a plan for every budget, so don't accept defeat.
Now you can get covered and still
Buy me treats.
You take care of your pets. Now it's their turn to take care of you. Visit getcoveredamerica.org to learn about your health insurance options.
The Kansas City Royals defeated the New York Mets 4-1 in the World Series over the weekend. To celebrate, hordes of Royals fans ran into the streets in downtown Kansas City. Now let's take a look at your local sports scene. Our sports anchor, Kate Boswell, has the latest. Hi, Kate.
Hi, Marielle. It's playoff season in the ODAC, and history tells us that anything can happen, even the unexpected. Yesterday, the third-season Washington and Lee women's soccer team lost in the quarterfinals to 6th-seeded Roanoke College. The Maroons took the Generals into double overtime, and match play ended with a tied score of 1-1. Roanoke won the game on penalty kicks. Things fared better for the WNL cross-country teams as both the men and the women were named ODAC champions last weekend. The men's team beat out 10 other teams for the title, and the women beat out 9. WNL football remains undefeated as it heads into the weekend. The Generals, currently ranked 16th in the nation, will host Catholic on Saturday at 1. In Kedet football news, VMI dropped a 41-20 decision at home to Wofford College last weekend. VMI will travel to the Citadel this Saturday to play their second-to-last game of the season. The Keydets are now 2-7 on the season. Down the road at SVU, the women's volleyball team ended its season with a win against Wesley College at home. The Knights were down 2-1 early on in the game, but rallied to come from behind and win the contest 3-2. As the SVU volleyball season came to a close, the Knights wrestling season began. The SVU wrestling team traveled to Vienna, West Virginia last weekend for its first meet of the season, only to lose 54-0 against Ohio Valley University. Let's take a look now at the high school sports scene. The Rockbridge County High School volleyball team hosted district opponent William Fleming on Tuesday for its Pink Out Night. The RCHS girls wore pink ribbons in their hair during the game in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The Wildcats defeated the Colonels 3-0. Perry McClure freshman cross-country runner Sophie Dryden finished second out of 84 runners at the 1A West Region meet on Wednesday at Sugar Hollow Park in Bristol. Her strong performance has earned her a ticket to the Group 1A state meet on November 14th. The Perry McClure men's cross-country team also clinched a spot at the state meet after finishing third out of 11 teams competing at the regionals. It's going to be an exciting football game this weekend. Hope to see everyone there. Back over to you, Marielle.
Sounds like it was a big week for a lot of teams. Thank you, Kate.
The Lexington Police Department has done some very early recruiting on the future generation of officers. Students in the 8th grade at Lilburn Downing Middle School were given training by police officers in a junior police academy. For 6 weeks, the kids were taught in classrooms and out in the field about techniques, strategies, and tasks an everyday officer faces.
And that's it for this week's Rockbridge Report. Thank you.